Hey, what's going on, guys? Haven't been able to put on a YouTube video for you guys lately. The projects that are going on inside the house are pretty long-winded, and being new to this, I'm not familiar with how to break it up to show you guys content that would be ideal for you guys to learn from. So I've always been kind of a let's start it, get it done, and get it done right and get it done fast. But taking on the YouTube thing, I've had to try to slow down and figure out how to break things up so that we can actually show you guys footage and show you guys how to do it. So with learning how to edit and everything, I decided to do another raw video, if you will. I don't know if how much editing will go into this one, but I wanted to do, introduce you guys to my new Spartan mower. It's the Spartan RT-Po. It is, they told me when we bought it, we didn't want to go full commercial grade, and we didn't want to go on the residential side of things, because I mow about 6 acres a week. Sorry about the wind noise if there is. It's kind of windy out today. But yeah, we mow about 6 acres a week. It takes on this mower, we run at about half speed. I think it's 11 miles an hour cut speed on this one. We hit about half speed normally just to get a clean, nice cut. And it takes me, with weed eating, probably about 3 hours to cut my property. And as you can see, that's just the front yard. We do have a side yard down the hill down there, and then we do have a backyard back behind the house and behind the garage as well. This side doesn't really have much. Luckily, that's just the property line right on the other side of the power pole. But so far we have about 40 hours on this thing. We're running a Briggs & Stratton 27 horsepower commercial engine. This one has already had its first oil change, and with this back cage, I was a little worried about the back cage as far as accessibility with the oil and everything. It is nice in case you bump into anything, it doesn't hurt anything, but they kind of thought about that for you and designed it to where you can just dump it out the bottom there by taking it loose. So that was pretty nice. With the, I guess we'll go over the instrument cluster first. It's a little dirty. I just finished mowing yesterday. I do need to clean it up before I put it up. We have, like I said, almost 40 hours. It's at 39.3. With this model, it actually comes with a universal wiring harness that I can actually install. We didn't get the front light, so if we do end up buying the light, it bolts in there and it sets in there, and it'll actually already be wired back into this unit. This unit is code start. It's already wired, like I said, for the light, start stop obviously. This controls your screen, PTO, throttle, and choke. This model also came with a 12-volt charger, and then this is your deck height system. We'll go over the deck height system real quick. The easiest thing to do is you push this pedal down until it pulls it all the way up, and then you just set based on inches what you want your deck selector to be. Now with this deck, in less than 40 hours, we had one issue with it. I'm gonna see if I can drop the deck down so you can see what we had to do. A little bit hard with one hand, but anyway, if you look under here, that bolt right there, I guess, was just a little bit too loose. And when you'd hit a bump, the deck would come up a little bit, and basically this gear would spin about to where it is right now and drop your deck height down all the way to the ground, where it's basically I would say roughly an inch. I mean, my hand barely fits under it, and it would scalp your grass. In the middle of nowhere, I guess I wouldn't have a big issue with it, but some of the guys out there that are extremely in love with their grass and stuff would probably not like that. Now, before we called the equipment sales place that we bought it from, I did a little bit of reading and everything, and it looks like Spartan has kind of already noticed the problem and gotten ahead of it, because they actually posted themselves a video to fix it, and that's how I learned to fix it. So I'm glad that they're being proactive about it, but I've tightened it down. Hopefully I won't have any issues out of it again. This model this model, this particular mower off the floor came with these wheels and tires, and then they had the radials in the front. I think they were add-ons, because I look at the other ones for this model and they're not on there. The same with the seat. The seat has a weight selector. Obviously it's real high right now because I'm a big guy. And with that, it kind of takes away the Zero Turn's notorious bounciness. You kind of feel like you're floating on it. With the deck is a 61 inch, and it's their XTF 3-blade 61-inch deck. The deck does have the bumpers on the side, which obviously, as you can tell, we've tested them out to make sure they work. Let's see, what else do we have? With the arms, this is one of my, this is actually, this right here is actually the reason we went with this mower over Skag. So when we brought it down to, I think it was a Skag Cheetah and this one. With these, the placement, obviously with my, you know, being a big guy, having that belly, the arms on the Skag would actually come back and I'd have to suck it in a little bit just to go in reverse. With this one, I have like probably 3 or 4 inches where I can go in reverse without it touching me, which was a big selling point. This mower also did come with the rollover protection. I don't use it, and I'll tell you why. If you look, I'm not sure you can see any from here, but there are some trees that have some low branches down there. There's one right there. I don't know if you guys can see it, but basically if I was to run with that up, it would hit it, and I definitely don't want to flip the mower just because of that being up. Spartan does recommend that if it's down, you don't buckle up. If it's up, you buckle up. And it does have the seat belt there and on the other side. Another one of the good features for this is the fuel tank. This is probably the biggest fuel tank on a mower that I've ever had. This is 9, I think it's 9 or 9.5 gallon. And I think it takes about 2.5 to 3 gallon at a time for me to cut my grass here. So it's not as bad as I was thinking on fuel economy. Down underneath the seat, obviously you have your battery and your Parker pumps for the wheels. I did not like how the Parker pumps did not come with a cage on them around the shroud, or a shroud around the fan, or anything like that. I feel like if one stick comes up over top of the deck or something like that, it's going to take those plastic fins off. But luckily and hopefully that doesn't happen to me. This goes along with the weight selector on the front of the seat. Pretty sure this just adjusts from front to back based on your weight, and that's how they kind of give you that shock feeling, that floating feeling in the seat. Yesterday I did take a little bit of video of running this thing. Yesterday was a good day for it because you could kind of see how it performs under I guess the more extreme versions of grass cutting. So this last 3 weeks we weren't able to cut grass because of rain or being out of town or anything like that. So yesterday was the first day I was able to do it in the last 3 weeks. So it was about a foot tall, and I had to cut a little bit slower than I would have liked to, but it actually still came out really good, as you can see. And it only took me about 30 to 45 minutes longer than normal. The grass was also wet. For the backyard, I started in the backyard and the side yard. It was wet back there, but when I got to the front, it was actually dry enough to just roll through it at normal speed. So another feature is this rubber mat, or this rubber chute. So this thing is actually, I wasn't a fond of it at first, but I figured at first, you know, it didn't matter because 90% of the time I leave it up. However, when I did bring it down, you kind of forget about it after running with it up. You put it down and you run into something, well, it just folds up and then it pops right back out the way it was, which is really nice. If you have one of those plastic chutes, you're going to bend that up and break it, and then you got to go buy another chute. So that was a pretty cool design. I'm commending Spartan Spartan for that. But yeah, that's my mower. Again, only 40 hours on it, so time will tell if we have any more issues. I might do another update on this video when we get closer to maybe 100 hours. The second oil change is at 100 hours. And maybe we'll do a little bit of updated intervals. I don't know if I'll update or add new videos every time we do this. Maybe I'll just add to this one. Or I'll figure out how to update you guys on it. Relatively new company. I think Spartan, when we looked into it, they were only 4 or 5 years old. And then the owner was tied into Bad Boy Mowers somehow. I'm not 100% sure how that worked out. But that was probably my biggest skeptical point with this mower, because they were new. And when you're spending this much money, and the price point on this one was $8,000. When you're spending that much money on something like this, you definitely don't want to, you want to make sure there's a reputation behind it. And luckily this one came with 3-year front to back warranty. I think it was 2,700 hours, which from the looks of it, I'm probably not going to hit in 3 years. So I think that's more of a commercial style. I guess they hyped up the hours for the commercial guys. But yeah, let me know in the comment section below if you guys have any questions about anything on this thing. I do need to get it cleaned and get it put up, and hopefully if the weather starts acting like it's supposed to, we won't have to cut too many more times this year. So we'll get it all cleaned up and we'll get it winterized. That way next year we won't have any problems with starting it. And if we do have any issues out of it, obviously I'll let you guys know. If you have any questions about it, feel free to, obviously I said it before, just throw it down in the comment section. I'll look over the machine, or I'll research and figure out what I can answer for you. But appreciate your time, guys. If you liked what you saw, like, comment, subscribe, notification bell. Anything, you know, helps the channel. Hope you guys have an awesome day.